very pleased at 8:45 on a Monday morning to have Lesley-Ann Scorgie, the author of Well Heeled, The Smart Girl's Guide to Getting Rich, on our show. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
First and foremost, congratulations on hitting the Globe and Mail's bestseller list.
Thank you. Nice surprise this weekend.
I loved it.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, so I was surfing in Tofino with my sister. My agent's trying to get a hold of me.
Yeah, it was such a funny scenario. I wasn't expecting it because I was busy on a surfboard.
It seems to be kind of a constant in your world, because when I asked you about being on Oprah at 17 years old, 13 years ago,
yeah,
how you got on Oprah through a random series of coincidences.
Yeah, a little bit of luck. I was in high school helping my teacher teach a management and marketing class, and we were talking about saving money. And the Herald phoned the school one day and asked if there were any odd or interesting students that they could profile. And I got nominated as being odd or interesting, and they ran a full-page feature, which then got picked up by the producers of the Oprah Winfrey Show.
And they call you, and
They called me, and I hung up on them the first time. Who wouldn't? Rather than screaming or fainting, I thought it was a joke, and they called back and they said, you know, you should probably talk to us and come to Chicago and meet Oprah Winfrey and tell us your story.
Wow, what a fantastic story that is.
Thank you.
But your tips are what got you there.
Yes.
It is not just about being on Oprah because you're a very cool 17-year-old. It is because you bring great advice. So let's get to your tips on how women can be smart about money.
Well, the first tip I have is that young women need to be frugal, not be a cheapskate. So cheapskates are the ones that show up at dinner parties without a bottle of wine or empty-handed, essentially. Frugality, not good at all. It's not very polite. But frugality is really about stretching your dollars as far as they can go. And young women have this knack for it, and they should use that natural tendency to do so.
All right, that's a solid tip number one. What's tip number two for us?
The second tip is that women are actually risk averse. So we have studies that are now coming out and showing that women's risk aversion is helping them make more money when they're investing. So my tip is lean toward what your natural tendency is and protect your money. And invest like Warren Buffett. Women actually invest more similar to Warren Buffett than any other investor, which is knowing when to cut their losses.
Is that why I always have a fixed mortgage and all the guys around me are like, why aren't you variable? Like, because I need to know.
And in the end, it turns out that women are actually able to save a little bit more because of that natural tendency.
All right, tip number three.
Tip number three is, of course, to make a little bit more money. So sadly, still in 2013, 2014, we still have women making less money than their male counterparts for doing the same job. And I referenced 2013 because the Conference Board of Canada released their 2013 report that validated that this stat is still prevalent. I find that really annoying, but what it means is that women have to make a little bit more and they have to save a little bit more in order to close that income gap and prepare themselves for retirement.
And who you partner with matters as well, especially if you have somebody who is really good at spending your money.
Yeah, so the last and final tip is do not marry a financial doughhead. They will absolutely sink your financial ship, and it's all about creating options for your future. When someone takes that from you because maybe they're spending your savings, it's just such a bad recipe.
But there is a good point in there that if you are in love with or planning to marry somebody who struggles financially, you have to have those conversations, learn from them, and have your money, my money, and our savings.
You got it.
And keep it. It's just really good tips in this book. It is called Well Heeled, The Smart Girl's Guide to Getting Rich. Certainly one for all women to read, but I really, after having a good solid look at this book, suggest that young girls in particular, because you don't need those Christian Louboutins. You think you do, but you do not. Lesley-AnnScorgie.com. Get more information. Thank you so much for popping by.